Hold on to your seats, folks, because what you thought was impossible just happened. For years, we've witnessed the Naprozini, the back and forth, the global chess match between two superpowers, China and America. But today, the game has taken an unexpected turn. Did the dragon finally bow? Did the eagle extend an olive branch that was actually accepted? You won't believe what offer China just said yes to. This isn't just news, it's a potential game changer for the world economy, international relations, and maybe even your wallet. Stick around as we dive deep into the details of this historic moment. You absolutely need to understand what's going on. For decades, the relationship between China and the United States has been complicated, to say the least. Think of it as a high-stakes dance, sometimes graceful, often tense, always under global scrutiny. We've seen trade wars, technological standoffs, and geopolitical maneuvering across continents. Many believed a genuine breakthrough, a real agreement on a significant issue, was simply out of reach. The narrative has been dominated by competition, rivalry, and a growing chasm of distrust. Consider the recent past. Just a few years ago, tariffs were flying back and forth like missiles in a trade war. Accusations of intellectual property theft, cyber espionage, and unfair trade practices were commonplace. Military posturing in the South China Sea and around Taiwan further fueled anxieties. Political rhetoric on both sides often painted a picture of irreconcilable differences. Experts debated whether a new Cold War was not just possible, but inevitable. In 2018-2019, the US-China trade war saw tariffs imposed on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of goods. Yet, beneath the surface of this seemingly intractable conflict, whispers of potential cooperation have occasionally emerged. Climate change, global pandemics, nuclear non-proliferation, these are issues that demand collaboration, even from rivals. But tangible, significant agreements, those remained elusive, until now. So, what exactly did China accept? And what was the offer from America that finally broke through the ice? Well, it centers around an issue that is both incredibly complex and critically important: technology and data security. Focus on technology-related imagery, circuit boards, data streams, smartphones, AI interfaces. Show logos of major tech companies from both countries. Illustrate cybersecurity concepts visually. The digital age has fundamentally reshaped global power dynamics. Data is the new oil, and control over technology infrastructure is paramount. For years, the US has expressed deep concerns about China's growing technological prowess, particularly in areas like 5G, artificial intelligence, and data collection. These concerns are multifaceted, ranging from economic competition to national security. The US government, under both Republican and Democratic administrations, has voiced anxieties about the potential for Chinese technology to be used for espionage, intellectual property theft, and even to exert undue influence globally. Companies like Huawei have been at the center of this storm, facing sanctions and restrictions in the US and allied nations. The argument has been that Chinese tech companies, even if ostensibly private, are ultimately beholden to the Chinese government, raising the specter of backdoors and compromised systems. The US has banned Huawei from participating in its 5G infrastructure rollout, citing national security concerns. Several other countries have followed suit or implemented restrictions. America's offer, therefore, was not about trade tariffs or market access in the traditional sense. It was about something far more fundamental: transparency and reciprocity in the tech sector. The US essentially proposed a framework built on several key pillars. This offer was unprecedented in its scope and ambition. It wasn't just about addressing immediate concerns, it was about building a foundation of trust and cooperation in a domain where suspicion and competition have long reigned supreme. Many analysts were skeptical that China would even consider such an offer, given the deep-seated mistrust and the perceived asymmetry in the tech relationship. Economic growth charts, technological innovation, global influence, but also images hinting at internal challenges and external pressures. The million-dollar question, of course, is, why did China accept? What strategic calculations, what internal pressures, and what global realities led Beijing to say yes to an offer that just a short time ago seemed unimaginable? The answer is likely a complex interplay of factors. China's economy, while still growing, is facing headwinds. Global economic uncertainty, supply chain disruptions, and domestic challenges like demographic shifts and real estate market concerns are all factors. A stable relationship with the US, particularly in the tech sector, is crucial for maintaining economic momentum and attracting foreign investment. Accepting the US offer signals a willingness to de-escalate tensions and create a more predictable economic environment. This can boost investor confidence and help China navigate global economic uncertainties. Technological interdependence and the limits of self-reliance. While China has made remarkable strides in technological self-reliance, complete decoupling from the global tech ecosystem is neither feasible nor desirable. Many Chinese tech companies still rely on foreign technologies and markets. Cooperation, even with a competitor like the US, can unlock access to crucial technologies and talent, and foster innovation. The US offer, particularly the pillar on reciprocal market access and joint R&D, presents an opportunity for China to engage with the global tech community on a more level playing field, potentially accelerating its own technological advancement in certain areas. China aspires to play a greater role on the global stage, not just as an economic powerhouse, but as a responsible and constructive global leader. Accepting the US offer can be interpreted as a sign of maturity and a willingness to engage in pragmatic diplomacy, even with its primary geopolitical rival. In a world grappling with multiple crises, climate change, pandemics, regional conflicts, China may see an opportunity to enhance its global image by demonstrating a commitment to cooperation and multilateralism. This agreement with the US, even if limited to the tech sector, can serve as a powerful symbol. It's also possible that internal dynamics within the Chinese leadership have shifted. Perhaps pragmatic voices advocating for engagement and cooperation have gained influence. Or perhaps there's a recognition that continued confrontation with the US in the tech sector is ultimately counterproductive to China's long-term goals. Whatever the precise mix of motivations, China's acceptance of America's tech offer is a significant departure from the recent trajectory of US-China relations. It suggests a calculated decision to explore a new path, one that prioritizes managed competition and selective cooperation over outright confrontation. Transition to future-oriented visuals, cityscapes, technological advancements, global networks, and diverse populations interacting. Use graphics to illustrate potential positive and negative outcomes. So, what does this agreement actually mean? What are the potential implications, both immediate and long-term? And what should we expect to see in the coming months and years? The ramifications are far-reaching and touch upon multiple domains. The agreement could inject a dose of stability and predictability into the global tech sector. Reduced trade tensions and increased market access could benefit tech companies in both countries, potentially leading to innovation and economic growth. However, implementation will be key, and challenges remain in ensuring fair competition and protecting intellectual property. The global tech market is estimated to be worth trillions of dollars annually, with the US and China being the two largest players. The agreement could also ease inflationary pressures and benefit consumers worldwide by reducing uncertainty and potential disruptions in tech supply chains. Joint research and development in areas like ethical AI and cybersecurity could lead to breakthroughs that benefit humanity as a whole. However, there are also risks. Sharing sensitive information and technologies requires robust safeguards and trust-building measures. The success of this cooperation will depend on effective implementation and a sustained commitment from both sides. The establishment of a high-level tech dialogue is crucial. It provides a platform for ongoing communication, conflict resolution, and proactive management of technology-related issues. This mechanism could become a model for managing other complex areas of US-China relations. This agreement, while focused on technology, could have broader geopolitical implications. It demonstrates that even in a deeply competitive relationship, cooperation is possible. It could create momentum for dialogue and engagement in other areas, such as climate change, arms control, and regional security. However, it's crucial to be realistic. This tech agreement is not a panacea for all US-China tensions. Fundamental disagreements on political systems, human rights, and territorial disputes remain. The relationship will likely continue to be characterized by competition and rivalry, even with this new element of cooperation. Enhanced cybersecurity cooperation is a welcome development in an increasingly interconnected and vulnerable world. Joint efforts to combat cybercrime and protect critical infrastructure can benefit all nations. However, the agreement must be effectively implemented and monitored to ensure genuine progress and prevent it from becoming merely a symbolic gesture. The world is watching closely to see if this tech agreement is a genuine turning point or just a temporary truce in the ongoing US-China saga. The next steps are critical. Effective implementation, sustained commitment, and a willingness to build trust on both sides will determine the ultimate success of this unprecedented offer and acceptance. While this agreement is undoubtedly a positive development, it's essential to acknowledge the significant challenges that lie ahead. The path to genuine cooperation and trust building is rarely smooth, especially in a relationship as complex and fraught as that between the US and China. The devil is always in the details. Turning broad commitments into concrete actions, establishing verification mechanisms, and ensuring consistent enforcement will be a major undertaking. Both sides will need to overcome bureaucratic hurdles and potential resistance from vested interests. The agreement must be more than just words on paper. It requires robust implementation mechanisms and a genuine commitment to follow through on both sides. Skepticism and mistrust remain deeply ingrained, and any perceived lack of follow-through could quickly derail the progress. Trust is a fragile commodity, especially in international relations. The agreement hinges on both sides acting in good faith and upholding their commitments. Reciprocity is also crucial. If either side perceives an imbalance or unfairness in the implementation, it could lead to resentment and a breakdown of the agreement. Building genuine trust will take time and consistent effort. Both countries need to demonstrate through actions, not just words, that they are committed to the spirit and letter of the agreement. Both the US and China face domestic political pressures that could complicate the implementation of this agreement. In the US, there is bipartisan skepticism towards China, and any perceived concessions could be criticized as weakness. In China, nationalist sentiments and concerns about sovereignty could also create obstacles. Leaders in both countries will need to navigate these domestic political landscapes and build public support for cooperation. This requires effective communication and a clear articulation of the benefits of the agreement for both nations. The tech agreement exists within a broader context of geopolitical competition and rivalry. Tensions in other areas, such as Taiwan, the South China Sea, and human rights, could still undermine progress in the tech sector. Managing these broader tensions while nurturing cooperation in specific areas will be a delicate balancing act. The success of this tech agreement is not guaranteed. It requires sustained effort, political will, and a willingness to overcome significant challenges. However, it represents a crucial opportunity to inject a degree of stability and cooperation into a relationship that is vital for global peace and prosperity. The implications of China accepting America's tech offer extend far beyond just these two nations. This agreement, if successful, could have a significant ripple effect across the globe. A more stable US-China relationship, even in a limited domain like technology, can reduce global uncertainty and boost confidence in the international system. This can benefit global trade, investment, and economic growth. In a world facing numerous challenges, from economic instability to geopolitical conflicts, any sign of de-escalation and cooperation between the two largest economies is a welcome development. The agreement could encourage a more cooperative approach to global challenges. If the US and China can find common ground on technology, it could create momentum for collaboration in other areas, such as climate change, global health, and sustainable development. This agreement could serve as a model for managed competition and selective cooperation in other complex bilateral and multilateral relationships. Technological advancement for all, joint research and development in areas like ethical AI and cybersecurity could lead to technological breakthroughs that benefit all of humanity. A more stable and cooperative global tech landscape can foster innovation and accelerate the development of technologies that address global challenges. However, it's also important to be aware of potential downsides. Some countries might view this agreement with suspicion, fearing a US-China duopoly or a division of the world into technological blocs. Transparency and inclusivity will be crucial to ensure that the benefits of this agreement are shared broadly and do not exacerbate existing inequalities. Ultimately, the success of this tech agreement will be measured not just by its impact on US-China relations, but by its contribution to a more stable, prosperous, and cooperative world. It's a step in the right direction, but the journey ahead is long and requires sustained commitment from all stakeholders. So, there you have it. China accepted America's offer, a truly historic moment with potentially massive implications. What do you think about this agreement? Is this a genuine turning point, or just a temporary pause in the tensions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights are valuable, and I'm eager to hear your perspectives. If you found this analysis valuable, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to bring you more in-depth content like this. And of course, if you want to stay informed about global events and get insightful analysis delivered straight to you, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. We've got much more coming up, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and stay informed.